Okay, so we will be starting our class in a few time. So today's topic, it will be suturing. Okay, suturing and suture removal. Okay, it will be a demonstration class, but then it will be shown only theoretically. Okay, so I'll share the screen. How many students are there in total in your class?
56.
Okay. Till now we are 29. Okay, we will start the class. So today's topic, it is suturing. Okay. So what do you know about suturing? Can anyone tell me? Anyone? What is suturing?
Ma'am, stitching of open wound.
Yes, stitching of wounds. I think I have done this topic over before. This topic, I think half of the students.
Ma'am, we had a seminar on this topic.
Okay. So see,
There was a seminar.
okay. So suturing, this is how it looks. Okay, there are various types of suturing. Okay, we can do many types of suturing, and among those, these are the types. We will study about it. Okay. And then the introduction. See, this one, it is the overview of what is suturing. First thing, what suture means is, it is something, it means which is used for sewing, okay, for stitching or seam. Okay, sew and seam means nothing but stitching. Okay, so suturing is used to close wounds. Okay, whenever we have open wound, the main thing which is required is suture. Okay, with the help of thread, with the help of suture needle, we can stitch that part again. Okay, just like when our clothes used to get
Yes.
disrupted, or when our clothes used to get any torn parts, we used to suture it, right? So in that condition, we used to stitch it. So it is the same condition for human body as well. If there is any opening, if there is any open wound, we used to stitch that part. We used to stitch up that part. Okay, that is suturing. And then there are various available materials. Okay, we can use many type of materials, which will be shown later. And see, now we came to the definition of suture. Okay, according to Silverstein, suture is any strand of material which is used or utilized to ligate blood vessel or approximate tissues. Okay, we are studying about human body, and human body, it is made up of cells, tissues, blood vessels. Okay, all of those. So any kind of interruption in the body tissues or in the cells, okay, if any kind of interruption or disruption is there, suture will be required. So according to Silverstein, any strand of suture which is required, to stitch up that part, okay, to stitch up open wound is suturing. And then again, many kind of definitions are there. I will provide you the slide. You can read those definition, okay. After that, we have
Okay, ma'am.
the purpose of suture. Okay, why do we suture? The main purposes of suturing are to maintain hemostasis. Okay, hemostasis means what? Hemostasis means, who can tell what is hemostasis?
Man, balancing environment, man,
Okay,
balancing environment between.
Maintaining equilibrium.
okay. See, what used to happen is whenever we have open wound, okay, blood flow used to be there. So our main motive will be to stop the blood flow, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
To maintain that loss of blood flow, we used to suture up so that the blood loss will be less, okay? So that one is one of the purpose of suturing. Then the next one is to provide adequate tension, because see, the wound, okay, the wound is open, all right, the wound is open, and for stitching, if we stitch that part, what will happen? That area, it will receive some kind of tension, okay, some sort of pull will be there with the help of stitch, okay. For that reason, those open wound will be closed, okay, with the help of tension, with the help of force, with the help of pull, okay, with the stitch or with the suture material, the wound will be closed. So suturing is also used to provide adequate tension, okay, to provide adequate force to that area, okay. Then the next one is to promote healing. Why we suture is so that the wound will be healed, okay. We don't want that area to be open, to remain open, okay. We want proper integrity of the skin, all right. For that reason, we used to go for suturing, okay, whenever there is open wound, deep wound, okay, or deep cut. So the other purpose will be to promote healing, then to provide support to the tissues. Since suturing is used to close the wound, okay, it will provide a kind of support so that the tissues will get attached to each other, okay. Then the next one is to reduce pain. This one I think you all know. Then permit proper flap position, okay. So what used to happen is sometimes in some kind of tissue interruption or tissue disruption, okay, sometimes skin peeling used to be there, okay. Flaps means the tissues of the skin, okay, the upper layer of the skin is being pulled up. So in that condition, what will be the motive of the person who is suturing? The motive will be to place the flap properly over the area, okay. The skin layer has been brought up. So in that condition, what we will do is, with the help of suture, we will place that skin layer above the tissue, okay. So we used to do proper flapping of the tissues, okay. And then the next one is to prevent bone exposure, okay. If the wound is too deep, all right, if the wound is too deep, if the wound is too inside, then what will happen? The bone will be exposed, okay. The muscle layer is been exposed, then the bone will be exposed. So we don't want that. Deeper invasion in the body means high chance of getting this one infection. So we need to prevent that one. How can we prevent? Through suturing, okay. Deep tissue suturing, then upper tissue suturing, one after another we have to do it, okay. Then the next one is to prevent infection. All right, understood the purposes, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Then we come to the equipments and articles which are required for suturing. Okay. The equipment which are required for suturing will be what? A tray, which will be a sterile tray. Okay. A sterile tray with suture material. And suture material means the proper, defined, and prescribed suture size. Okay. If the suture size is the amount of size which is required, okay, that one we need. If the wound is too big, we might need a bigger needle, okay. If the wound is too small, too light, we will need a lighter or smaller needle, okay. Depending on the wound size, depending on the deepness in the tissues, okay, we will need the suture material. Then we will need needle and needle holder. Okay, sometimes extra tissues or extra peeled layer of skin will be there. So in order to remove those, in order to clean that place, we need needle. Okay, and needle holder, sometimes we need to make extra cut. Okay, so in order to place the needle in the needle holder and in order to get a better grip, okay, we need needle holder. Then suture qualities of a suture. Okay, a suture, it will be or it should be properly sterile, because say suture we are going to place it inside the body of the patient, right? So suture should be properly sterile. We are not supposed to use unsterile or not clean sutures, okay, because it is going to get deeper into the person's body. Then it should be, it should cause minimal tissue injury. Okay, whenever we are using a suture, the first thing which we should see is it is proper with the type of injury the patient is having. Okay, the suture which we are using should be proper with the type of injury the patient is having. Okay, if we are suturing the blood vessels, okay, we are not going to use too big suture needles. Okay, so we need to keep that in our mind. And then a suture, it should be easy to handle. Okay, and it is easy to make a knot with that suture. Those should be the qualities of a suture. Okay, and it should not break easily. Okay, it should be strong. And then in suture classification, we have natural and synthetic. Okay, many types of suture material are there. Okay, and in those suture material, we have natural and synthetic suture material. Okay, and then you will be surprised, or maybe you know, okay, suture, all of the suture or the threads of the suture which we use, maximum of the cases, it is done from the mucosa. Okay, it is made from the mucosa of cow, sheep, and other animals. Okay, so all the threads which we see in hospital settings or in pharmacy, all of those threads, natural threads, are maximum, in maximum cases it is made with the intestine of the dog, cow, sheep, etc. Okay, the collagen material is used to make those material. Okay, and then we have monofilament and multifilament. All of those, it, the difference is in the resistance. Okay, how much resistance it is providing. Okay, so monofilament and multifilament, you can read it, I'll give you the slide. Then we have absorbable and non-absorbable. Okay, absorbable is something which is absorbed by our body. Okay, it will be absorbed by our body. Non-absorbable will be something which is not absorbed by our body. See, maximum of the cases in absorbable material. Okay, catgut, you all know catgut, you have heard, I think catgut, you have heard suture catgut.
Yes, ma'am.
So catgut is absorbable or non-absorbable? Which one?
Ma'am,
Cat,
it is absorbable.
others, only one have replied. Others, what do you think? Catgut is what?
Absorbable, ma'am.
Absorbable. Okay. So yes, catgut is absorbable. Okay. So see, in absorbable, why do we need absorbable materials? Because sometimes we used to have internal surgeries, right? Surgery in our intestine, surgeries in our stomach, liver, kidney, right? We used to have some kind of surgeries. Many surgeries are there. So see, for those kind of surgeries, can we just cut and can we just put some kind of material, okay, like synthetic or like non-absorbable sutures? Can we put those? Because see, what used to happen when we do internal
Ma'am, no.
surgeries, when we do internal surgeries, what used to happen is we are cutting deep into the patient's body, right? And then we are opening the body, we are opening the skin, and then we are going into the organ of the patient. Okay. And then it is very difficult and very harassing for the patient also if the suture material inside which is placed is non-absorbable, because we have to cut it again. Okay, so in those cases we need absorbable one. So the sutures which are done in internal organs or inside the body parts of the patient or client, all of those, maximum of the cases, they are absorbable one. Okay. The internal organs, like even a patient, if he goes for cholecystitics, okay, cholelithiasis, cholecystitis operation, then at that time also absorbable suture material are used, okay, because we are not going to cut that suture in the internal organs again, okay. And then these are the types of wound, okay. We can have cut wound, stab wound, okay, torn, beaten, chopped, crushed, okay, many type of wound may be there. And then moving on to types of suture. Okay, we have different types of suture. And then suture material, it can be classified as absorbable and non-absorbable. Okay, in the broad classification, we have absorbable and non-absorbable. Okay, absorbable is something which is digested by our body. By some kind of hydrolytic enzymes, it is absorbed in our body. Okay, and non-absorbable ones need to be removed. Okay, like the outer skin sutures. If you have any cut in your head and you are going for suturing, you need to cut it. Okay, it is not going to get absorbed. Okay, that one is non-absorbable suture. And absorbable will be something, the sutures which are made in the internal organs. Okay, that will be non-absorbable. They are digested automatically by your body enzymes. Then these are some kind of suture material, polygluten, polypropylene and all, silk, polyester, steel, all of those are some kind of materials, okay? All of those are the classification of absorbable and non-absorbable. Then see, in absorbable, we have surgical gut, okay? Catgut type of material will be there in surgical gut, okay? Collagen material will be absorbable ones, and some of the synthetic materials, okay? Like man-made materials will be there, which is kind of absorbable, okay. And in non-absorbable, we have silk, nylon, cotton, polyester, and all of those, okay. Then see, these are the kind of sutures, okay. We have intermittent, we have continuous, we have blanket suture, okay. We have retention type. And then in this side we have suture, which is, this is which kind of suture? Anyone? See, knots are present in each and every one of them, right? Knots are present, no?
Intermittent.
Yeah, intermittent. In intermittent, what used to happen is, see, in intermittent, you stitch one by one, okay? You have tied a knot, then you will cut it again. Then again you will stitch it, and then you will put a knot, and again you will cut it. Okay, one by one you used to suture. Okay, one done, two, then the next one. Okay, then the next one. You are not going to go continuously. Okay, it is not continuous at all. You will do one after another. And steri strip is what? It is some kind of material, like some kind of sellotape. Okay, it is a kind of sellotape which used to bind the tissues. Okay, you have a long cut, you have a deep cut. With the sellotape, you are bringing those tissues together. Okay, steri-strip is a kind of sellotape which is put on the tissues. Okay, when it is cut. Then we have staples. Okay, stapler, I think all of you have seen. This is stapler.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
in stapler, see, we used to have a stapler and then we used to just staple the parts. Okay, the cut is there, with the stapler we will staple it. Okay, then see, we have many types of stitches. Okay, doing the stitch also, we can do stitches, we can demonstrate, or we can practice stitching with various kind of techniques. Okay, it can be simple running. Okay, figure of 8 can be there. Just like in bandaging, we have different kind of bandaging, right? In the same way, we have different kind of stitches. We can do stitches in different kind. Okay, so it can be simple running. In figure of 8 also we can do. Okay, we can do interrupted, we can do horizontal. Okay, then regular, running, everything we can do. Many methods are there, okay, in all of those. Then we have types of absorbable sutures. Okay, we have various types, and in this one you have to know some of the names. Okay, at least you try to know gut. Okay, and gut in the sense catgut materials, all of those are absorbable ones. Okay, polyglatin, okay, vicryl, catgut, all of those will be absorbable ones. Okay, monocryl is also there, vicryl, monocryl, and catgut. You just remember these three names in absorbable sutures. Okay, in non-absorbable we have other kinds such as nylon, silk, polyester. Okay, nylon, silk, polyester, these are some kind of non-absorbable sutures. Then moving on to what are the different suture, um, can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just 1 minute. See, there are three kinds, or there are some kinds, okay? There are some kinds of suturing. The first one is continuous suturing, okay? In continuous, what used to happen is it used to be continuous, okay? The picture I have kept. Can you see this picture? All of you, you can see this picture or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
see,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
in continuous, we used to have a point which is A, okay? This A point used to be there, okay? And then in this part, we will tie a knot, okay? In continuous, in this portion, we will tie a knot, okay? And then it will go on continuous, okay? You will tie a knot, then you will go on in zigzag pattern, okay? In this done, this one done, then this, okay? You will go on, and in the last portion, okay? When you will come in this portion, when we'll close this portion, at last you will tie a knot here. Okay, a knot will be there. One knot will be there in A, okay, and one knot will be there. Okay, in this portion when you will finish the portion, finish all of the suturing. Okay, so in this condition, how you are going to remove the suture is stitching will be done in zigzag pattern. Okay, one knot there in A and the other knot will be in the last part when the suture is done, when the complete suture is done. Okay, so removal will be how? In removal, you will hold one part with dissecting forceps. Okay, like this part you hold with dissecting forceps. All right, with dissecting forceps, this knot you are going to hold, and then this portion, this knot, you are going to cut with a scissor. Okay, this portion with a suture, you are going to cut this portion. Okay, and then while cutting, okay, you will hold on this portion, the red portion you are going to hold, and you are going to pull it up. All right, you're going to cut A, the knot at A, and then you are going to pull it from that red portion, okay, the ending portion. And the entire suture, it is going to come up. The entire suture will be coming out through those portion, okay. And in that case, you are not going to cut in between, okay. You are not going to cut in between. You are just going to cut in the starting or ending portion, and you are going to pull out a knot. Okay, you hold one knot and you cut one knot and you just pull it out. Okay, and then we have various other kinds, no, we have various other kinds of suturing. Okay, some kind of suture used to be like this. Okay, round, round, round. They used to go round, round, round. That one also, the thing is same. Okay. In this also, you are going to hold this portion and you're going to cut this portion and you're going to pull it out. Okay. The thing is the same. You're going to hold one end and you're going to pull it from the other end. Okay. After cutting. So this one, it was about continuous suture. And then we have interrupted suture. In interrupted suture, you can see, right, this one. In interrupted suture, we used to hold the wound with thumb forceps or dissecting forceps. Okay. And we used to tie a knot. Individually, we used to tie the knot. Okay. All the knots are individual knots or interrupted knots. Okay. Interrupted means what? It is having some discontinuation. Okay. So this one knot is done. You will go inside the skin, you will tie the knot. Okay. Again, you're going to cut it. Then again, you're going into the skin. Okay. A circular pattern will be there. Okay. A circular pattern will be there. In this one also, a circular pattern is there. Okay. So this one is interrupted suture. So in interrupted suture, how you are going to remove the suture is one by one. And what we used to do is, we used to go alternatively. We used to go alternatively. Okay. If we are cutting, we used to start from after one. Okay. Because what we used to think is, we used to check whether the wound is healed or not, whether there is any discontinuation or breakage in the wound or not. Okay. We used to check that one. And after that, we used to cut alternatively. If we are cutting this one, then next we are going to cut this one. Why? Because we used to check whether the wound, it has come together or it is gapping. Okay, gapping is there or not, we used to check through those. If there is no gapping, we used to cut the entire stitches. Okay. If there is gapping, we used to leave the other stitches. Okay. So see, in uninterrupted sutures, how we used to remove the suture is, we used to hold this knot. With thumb forceps, we are going to hold this knot. Okay. And after holding this part, we are going to cut it with a scissor. Okay. We are going to cut it with a scissor and we are going to pull it up. With a dissecting forceps, we are going to pull it up. All right. Then the same thing goes for this sutures as well. Okay, the same thing will go for these sutures as well. We will hold the knot, then we are going to cut it with a suture and we are going to pull it out. Okay, understood?
Yes, ma'am.
And then see, for uninterrupted suture is the easiest suture to make. Okay, even when we are giving suturing to the patients as well, uninterrupted sutures are the best one to give because it is the easiest one. Okay, the thing which we should keep in mind is the gapping should be equal. Okay, between two sutures the gapping should be equal. Okay, like here it is given 0.5 centimeter spacing is there. Okay, the gaping should be equal so that the suture is perfect. Okay, and the other thing we should keep in mind is knots should be on the same side. Okay, the knot should be on the same side, not on different side. Okay, because the consistency and continuity of the sutures will be maintained in that way. Okay, and then while we are suturing, we should not, or we are not supposed to suture it too deeply. Okay, because if we are suturing it too deeply, what will happen is we might injure any blood vessels. Okay, blood vessel might be injured in that case. Okay, so we are not supposed to stitch too deeply. Okay, the depth should be 0.5 centimeter. Okay, spacing should be, ideally it should be 0.5 centimeter, but then whatever suture you are giving, okay, however the suture you are doing, the gapping or the spacing should be equal, and the depth, it should not be too much. Okay, because the chances of this one blood vessel injury is high in those patients who are having deep injury. Okay, deep cut. So this is interrupted suture, and then we have the last one, which is staple sutures. Okay, staples are like this. Staples, it used to be like this, okay? And then the removal of staple sutures are very easy, okay? We used to have staple remover, we used to have, okay? And then with the staple remover, we used to just remove it one by one. We used to break it in between. In between, we used to put and we used to break it, break the sutures, okay? And then we used to pull it up. All right, this is how we used to take out staple sutures. So this was about the types of suture: continuous, interrupted, and deep sutures, okay? Then we have other kinds as well. We have buried suture, okay? Buried suture is something which is inside, okay? We are not going to see it, okay? A large kind of suture are kept inside. Sometimes what happens is we don't see the sutures outside, okay? Why? Because the suture is made in such a way that it is not seen outside, okay? Because in children's what used to happen is they used to be too restless, right? They used to be too restless. That's why in most of the cases, or in some cases, the sutures are made in such a way that the children are not pulling it out, because children have a tendency of pulling things out or making some other experiments and all, no? So for those kind of things, buried suture are done, okay? And one more thing, buried suture, it is done only when there is deep wound, okay? When the wound is deeper in the body, we used to do buried suture, okay? And then we have purse string sutures. Purse string is nothing but it is a type of continuous suture, okay? It is a type of continuous suture. And sometimes when we used to have internal suturing, or when we have internal organ suturing, okay, like in internal intestinal obstruction or some other kinds of people, we used to have those kind of suturing, okay? And those kind of suturing, the type which is used is purse string, okay? Why? Because it used to keep that area tight, okay? The tightening which is provided by purse string is very good. That's why we used to use it in internal organs, okay? And then we have subcutaneous sutures. Subcutaneous, just like the term, it is used, or it is put, okay? It is put in the subcutaneous area of the body, okay? And the sutures which is made is short. And moving on to the next part, suture removal. In suture removal, see, depending on the part of the body in which we are having sutures, the suture removal will be done, okay? If it is in our scalp, it will take 7 to 10 days to heal, okay? After 7 to 10 days, we can cut off the suture. Then in face, we can keep it for 3 to 5 days, and then we can cut off the suture, okay? The same is for chest, arm, legs. We have specific days for cutting off the suture, okay? So this thing you have to remember it. And that was all for suturing. You understood? All of you? I guess you got some
Yes, ma'am.
idea.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And there is only 35 students are there. Where are others?
Ma'am, because of bad network, most of them are not able to join the class.
Okay. And you have written this procedure or not? All of you? You have written or not?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Do you have procedure book? Procedure book you are having?
No, ma'am.
No. So, okay, if you don't have, no one has procedure book, because it will be same. Even if I provide, it will be the same only. You don't have procedure book, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then by today, I will provide you the material which you should write. Okay. And you try to write it as quickly as possible. And summation, I don't know when you are going to submit, because we don't know when college is going to reopen, no? So you just write it and you
Yes,
keep it in your
ma'am.
principal record book, okay? And the attendance,
Okay, ma'am.
okay, the attendance, I'll just Take it. You do one thing, one of you just write all of your names and you just submit it to me. Okay, you personally you message me the names who are present. Okay, I'm seeing 35 students. You just send me the names of the 35 students. Okay, one of you who will send.
Ma'am, I will send.
Okay, thank you. So this was all for today's class, and try to write the note.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.